All right. Hi, everybody. It is 8 o'clock Central Time in Chicago, Monday, November 28th. It's the Monday after Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great holiday with your families. I personally had to work, but I'm happy to have Christmas and New Year's off. So I'm just excited to have people here. Brenda just got on, yay! And hopefully a couple other people will be jumping on. I'm just really, really excited to invite Jenny. Is it DAgostino? I never actually said your name out loud. um,
Yep.
to our
Very
call. Gosh, Jenny, we met like 2 years ago, I think. I think we met on Facebook, right? And
Yeah.
and then and then we were at a Super Saturday, the one that I think Carl was on. Was anybody else with him? But he was at a Super Saturday, and you just kind of tapped me on the shoulder. You
Yep.
recognized me and from our little Facebook avatars, and then we've been Super Saturday buddies ever since. So, but especially recently, I've always loved Jenny's passion and fire, and she's always just brings so much energy to this business, and it's just fun to know her. But then she had a tragic. Her daughter had a tragic accident, and she's been going through a lot. And she was a guest speaker at one of our Super Saturdays in Chicago recently. And her story, when I heard it, I just knew other people had to hear it. And right now we're in a tough time of the year. I think we're all feeling it, the crunch of lots of things going on and the tug of family and business and work and just lots of things. And, Jenny just keeps plugging along. She just keeps going, despite everything her family is going through. If you guys remember, I don't know if you remember from the little introduction I gave you guys, but Jenny started her business in April of 2014. She's currently a diamond coach, but very close to one star. Since she started her business in April 2014, she has never missed Success Club. Never. So that makes her a Success Club All-Star legend, which is a big deal. She's also, in all of this, a single mom of 4. She's been a hair salon owner since 1995, though I know she's had to take a break since her daughter's accident. And she's also overcome, severe depression and a suicide attempt, which I believe she's going to talk a little bit more about that later. And what's really turned her around really is when she joined Beachbody and she really plugged into personal development. She is just a person who just keeps going, and she's made personal development a culture in her team, a culture in her challenge groups. I hope you can speak on that too, Jenny. She told me a little bit about it today, and I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. And so I'm just really honored to have you here, Jenny, and just thank you. And I'm just going to give you the floor. And then afterwards, she does have a team call at 9 p.m. Chicago time, but I'd say we're going to be on for that long. I do want to allow her to talk, but also if you have any kind of questions, she'd be willing to answer as well. So this could be a discussion later. Okay? All right, Jenny, I'm going to give you the floor.
All right. Thank you guys for having me on. Sorry, I'm on my phone. Like I was saying, my computer zapped out and I'm like waiting for it to boot up. I did not want to be late for you guys. So sorry for the small screen. It's been a crazy journey. Life has its strange ways of working out. Go back to my upbringing. I didn't have a really good childhood. My parents divorced when I was 4 years old, and I basically kind of, I lived with my mom. My brother lived with my dad. I basically raised myself through high school and all that stuff because my mom was working all the time, and then she was gone on weekends. So I wasn't really, the happy, the Sunday dinners with the family and all that stuff kind of girl. I just had to fend for myself. So, I turned into a little punk in high school and was drinking a lot. And, I wasn't a good kid. I met my ex-husband very young. I was 14. We started dating at 18 years old. And the minute we started dating, the abuse started. And I didn't know any better because I didn't have good role models and stuff. But I love this man with all my heart. And I did not want to go through divorce like my mom did. So I just kind of rode the wave no matter what. I didn't know any better. I had no idea. So anyways, long story short, 23 years later, and I have 4 beautiful children. I opened up my hair salon when I was 22 years old. So that's in Palatine. And January of 2014, I was on my own with the kids. Things started failing after my divorce. And financially it was really rough, and I almost lost my house. I almost had to foreclose on my house. And my daughter, this is a story behind this, but my daughter bought her own horse in 2010. She was 10 years old. It was right when we were separating. And she had this goal at 10 years old. She's been riding since she's 5 years old. She's always been saying horse at 2 years old, and just, it's never ended. So February, I almost had to sell it. And it was just a rough year for me. And then I found a lump in my breast, and I had to have it surgically removed. I had no insurance. Just everything that year was falling apart for me. And then April 2014, Beachbody came into my life, and it's crazy because I never got in this for the business. It was just a testimony about Shakeology. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds incredible. Like, I need something like that in my life. So I tried it. And 2 weeks into drinking it, I regained my life again. It was like it brought this light bulb back into my body. And I was like, oh my God, it was amazing. 6 weeks later, I hit Success Club 43, and it was only Shakeology. It was not challenge packs at all. I hit Diamond, like, I don't know, 10 to 12 weeks in, but I did that because I was signing people up as discount coaches. I'm like, oh my God, I could save you money. Oh, I was the girl that was going to save you money. I did not want to take your commission from you. I did not want to make money off you. I'm a friend. I'm like, let's do this. So I was like, bam, 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 another one. And my upline was like, who is this girl? Like, what's going on? Oh my God. They were like freaking out. And I literally haven't stopped since, because it has changed so many lives, like health reasons, not really business. It was more health testimonies that got me. And I was like, there is something to this Shakeology. Oh my gosh. So personal development came into my life. Do you guys hear that? I don't know. I don't think it's on my end, the noise. Do you guys hear that? Okay. The personal development I started with was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. After that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, so many things changed in my life with that. Like, I started like just the more positive outlook on everything. And then I got hooked to Brendon Burchard, the High Performance Academy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but you guys should definitely check out Brendon on YouTube. He's got tons of free podcasts. He's got so many books, and I haven't stopped. Like, really, personal development to me is more important than my workout, believe it or not. I'm almost like my Shakeology, personal development, then my workouts. Because I believe that your mindset comes first and then your workout. And I don't know, I just really believe that everything happens for a reason, and like the stars really align up and life just falls, like all these puzzles just start falling into place. Because 5 years ago, I was a disaster. After like John and I split up, I started drinking. I was not a good role model for my children. I was like, it was not pretty. And if what happened to me now happened to me then, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the mom that I'm able to be for my daughter right now and my kids. So I'll fast forward to Taylor's story. June 8th this year, so May 30th, Taylor turned 16. The 31st, she got her license. And a week and a day later, she went to work. I went to work. And we were keeping in touch all day and everything. And I came home and made dinner for my kids. And she called me. She called and she's like, I'm going to stay at the barn. I'm going to ride. I'm going to wait till traffic dies down. And I'm like, cool, no problem. Talk to you later. And about an hour and a half later after that, I got a call from the owner that Taylor fell. And they didn't tell me how bad it was. they just said that she hurt her back pretty bad and they needed to take her to, they were just going to take her to the hospital, get her checked out. I'm like, no problem. Cool. I'll meet you there. Just, Taylor's fallen plenty of times. She's bruised her ribs. She's gotten back on, she got the wind knocked out of her. She got back on. Her horse is little. So whenever she falls, it's not that far of a drop. Well, she wasn't riding her horse this time. They asked her if she wanted to train a horse that came in 2 weeks prior. And this guy was pretty big. He was huge, but I didn't know that. So I got to the hospital and found out that she broke her back. And she broke her T5 and T6. And the way that she fell, she kind of she flew off the horse forward. She twisted and kinked her back. So her spinal cord got compressed. So from the chest down, she's paralyzed right now. And, I've been having to take care of her since, imagine your 16-year-old back in a diaper again. I'm sorry, guys. It's just kind of I try not to think about the past. I just have to keep moving forward. Because it hurts, you always think about what if, but so she's been in the hospital, she was in the hospital since then. And the very night she had to have surgery that night to take, get the compression off of the spinal cord. And they kept telling me that she's never going to walk again. And I was I saw my daughter, I saw her on the table and she was telling me, she was comforting me. And she's like, I'm going to be fine. She's like, Mom, stop crying. She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm going to be fine. And she's got the headgear on and strapped to the table and she's comforting me. And I knew just hearing those words come out of her mouth, something hit me in my gut. And I'm like, she's going to walk again. I don't care what the doctors say. Her spinal cord was not severed. I'm like, she's going to walk again. So we've been on this journey. Well, the very next day, I was next to her after her surgery and recovery and all that stuff. And I had 172 text messages. I had tons of Facebook messages, and just because I had talked about the night before, she went on, they took her via helicopter from Condell to Lutheran. And I was like, please pray for my daughter. And so everybody was all concerned. And they were like, what could we do for you? What could we bring for you? What do you need? And I'm like, honestly, really, please? I'm like, could you please bring my Shakeology? I knew I was going to be in the hospital for a while, but I needed the energy and I needed to keep my strength. And I swear to you, that is exactly what I asked for. I'm like, you need to bring my blender and you need to bring my shakes. So there it was. I was here she was laying in the hospital bed and I'm taking selfies holding my Shakeology cup and I'm thumbs up. And I'm like, guys, you can't give up on yourself. Even if something happens like that, you cannot give up on your health. It's done so much for me and I just couldn't give it up. And I asked the nurses, I was like, can I have a room to work out? I had my computer. I had Beachbody on demand. I went into a room. They were letting me work out. And I was inspiring the nurses. I was really surprised that some of the nurses were overweight and they were drinking Coke. And I made friends with some of them. And I was like, you're going out for a smoke break? What? You're in the healthcare industry and you're going out there smoking? I told one of the nurses, you need to throw away that Coke before I take it out of your hands and I throw it down the drain. I'm like, look, my kid's in there right now fighting to walk again and you're sitting there smoking and drinking Coke. I'm like, oh, this is not going to work. I'm like, no, don't come in my room. So I was very verbal. I don't care, but I always wore my Shakeology. I went, they packed a bag for me and I said, I need workout gear. I need my gym shoes. I need my stuff. I'm going to work out. And as she's laying there getting taken care of by the nurses, I was taking care of myself in the hospital. And I think that helped me along with the journey. I still hit Success Club 10. You guys, and I'm not on here preaching to you about the business. I don't want, I'm not really about you got to hit Success Club points and you got to get diamond and you got to get that. It's not about that. It's about taking care of you. And when you guys feel better, it reflects on you and your children and your whole life around you. And people are wanting the journey that you're on because you glow. You know, everybody asks me, like, I don't understand. Like, I'll wake up and I'm like, have a great day. You know, life is amazing. Life is what you make of it. And I just keep preaching that to them, and like the positive mindset. And they're like, I don't understand you. And I'm like, they're like, your daughter. And I'm like, my daughter what? My daughter's alive. She didn't die. She's not a quadriplegic. She can feed herself. So what? It's a journey. You know what? And she's been so positive. She's not crying. She's not saying, why me? And as she's in physical therapy, I was like taking pictures of her, and I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm like, for those of you who can't work out or say you don't want to work out, you have 2 legs and 2 arms that work. And I'm like, she doesn't. But yet she's fighting every single day to walk again. Like, she has a goal. She has a vision. And by the way, she is riding her horse again. We got her back on after 3 months. If you guys want to like follow Taylor's story, it's on Facebook under Taylor Strong, and you'll see her picture and my picture. And I just basically like update, you know, how it's going and stuff like that. But yeah, I had to stop working. That day was the last day that I was at my salon. My team has been amazing at the salon and everything like that, and Beachbody. I've had such amazing support, amazing friends. They did a GoFundMe to help just financially and stuff like that. I have so much to be grateful for. And I truly believe like Beachbody came into my life for a reason, because I started doing hammer and chisel a year and a half before this happened. And I started lifting, and I got upper body strength and lower body. You guys have no idea what I have to do to like lift her, like in and out of the bed, into the wheelchair, in and out of the car, 6 days a week. We're going either to the barn or physical therapy, and it's all on me. My ex is not around here to help me, and it's all on myself. And I'm like, I'm 5'4". I'm 125 pounds, and people look at me and they're like, you know, but I have muscle. And, you know, I actually sent a video to like Carl and all them, like when it happened. And I was like, I just thank them for everything that they had, all the tools, all the support, everything that they offer, because it's all there. You guys just have to engage. And it's like, I could have easily given up on this business June 8th, but how could I give up on something that literally changed and saved my life? It's just been a crazy journey, but how can it's also been a good one and a positive one too, because the support has been incredible. I still, it was a little hard doing my challenge groups back then. Obviously I was just really motivating and inspiring on my page. But now I'm back at everything and stuff like that. Now we're back home and physical therapy. I have a little break from it right now. We're actually going to be going inpatient to Shriners Hospital in Oak Park, December 19th through the 30th. So I'll be doing my same old there too. I'm going to be bringing all my stuff and doing it there. But, you know, I really push personal development on everybody that I work with. And when you work with me, and I'm not mean at all. I mean, I am like the ray of sunshine in your life, but I also do not put up with excuses either. You know, I'm like, I'm like, you're going to tell me you can't. And I'm like, I'm sitting here changing my kid's diaper at 16 years old. I'm like, that's not fun. But you know what? I get her taken care of. And then I look at her and I'm like, I get her water. I get her set up. I give her everything she needs. I'm like, now I'm going to go downstairs and work out. You're going to give me 45 minutes and I'll be back. She's like, yeah, go. It's cool. And she's, and you just have to prioritize your day, and you just have to like, be like, I got this. But I could not be the mom that I was, like taking care of Taylor with the person used to be. I couldn't. But she's been great. She's been keeping me inspired. When she has a bad day, I uplift her. When I have a bad day, she uplifts me. It's just teamwork. And my boys are boys. They haven't changed at all. You know, my household is still crazy as all. Like, you know, we just go on and we try to laugh and joke about things. You know, I You guys, like, honestly, no joke, I tell my team this all the time. Like 10 years ago, I used to go to bed at night praying to God that he would take my life. I couldn't do this. I didn't want to do this. I hated it. It was like, I was like, oh, life sucks and then you die. I'm like, I truly know that statement right there, because I was like, there's nothing. You're literally being this robot every single day of being a mom and being a doormat. And it was horrible. No one respected me. Nobody looked up. It was like, wake up, mom, do this, mom, do that, mom, do this, mom, do that. And, anytime I tried to do something for myself, like working out and stuff like that, he was always like, why? Why are you doing that? Who are you doing it for? Why? Why? So, it's all who you surround yourself around is how your life is going to be and how it's going to go. So I always live by, think about the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with now. Spouse, friend, I don't care who it is, but that's where you're going to be in 5 years from now. So if you guys are hanging out with people who like to drink and smoke and eat like crap, that's where you're going to be, and you're going to ride that journey with them. Because when you go out and you want to have a salad, or you want to eat chicken, or you want to have your lemon water, they're going to be like looking at you like, really? And I had to leave some friends because they were making fun of me all the time. And I was like, you know what? I want to come out with you to have fun. I don't want you to pick on me because of my lifestyle change. And I literally just had to let them go. It's things in life that you have to choose, and it's okay. I want to be around people who are going to uplift me. And like after Taylor's accident, they were like, what could we do to help? Like, and like sending me like positive thoughts and like, quotes and everything like that. And I'm like, yep. I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me, because I truly believe this happened to us for a reason. And I believe that Taylor's just going to be that little inspiring girl that's going to overcome this. And she will hopefully, get on stage with her graduating class next year and walk across stage. That's what we're working on. But one of the biggest goals she had was getting on her horse again. And she said, I'm going to ride again. I don't care what it is. I'm going to ride again. Her whole dad's family, that side, was so against me and so against us. And like, are you kidding me? God gave her one chance, and look at what happened. You're going to let her get back on? I go, if she falls again, we're going to go through the same process, but I'm going to be well prepared this time. So, I know it's crazy talk, but, she's 16 years old, and I'm so thankful that she did not give up and be afraid, because fear will just ruin your life. Again, personal development is, I would highly recommend, if you guys ever like want suggestions, send me a message, add me on Facebook. I'll be willing to help. I'm not just, you're not on my team, I'm not going to help you. I'm not that person. We're all in this together. Beachbody is a huge, amazing team, and we're all here to help each other out. It's been a ride, and I'll never give it up. I absolutely love what I do, and it just gets better and better. And if I didn't have the tools that this company gave me, I wouldn't be here today. I hope that helps. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I'd like to dive in with my question real first, and then I want other people to ask as well. But, you obviously have had bad days. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we all do. So when you hit that, how do you motivate yourself to pour back into your challengers, into your coaches, your team, into just the people around you? How do you pull it together so that you just keep going no matter what?
Well, I mean, I do have bad days. We all do. But there's days where I think it's, for me, maybe probably hormonal, and I just get exhausted, and I'm like, I cry, and I don't let her see it. And I'll just go into my room, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I'm like, I literally, sometimes then I feel it's like self-doubting, and I'm going, I kind of like, I lost my life. And if you know what I mean, like I feel like I have an infant again, but like I'm almost like she's attached to my umbilical cord. I mean, you guys, I can't like go a weekend without her because I have to do all of her bathroom stuff. She doesn't go on her own. So it's like every 6 hours I have to cath her, and then at night I have to do her bowel program. And so I'm like, if I think to myself, if I would let that self doubt hit me all the time, I wouldn't be able to go on. You know, I'm like, we got this. We got this. It's okay. And again, honestly, I'll just tell you right now, personal development, seriously, like if I'm feeling low, I'll put in my headphones, I'll find like a podcast or our YouTube with Brendan or my Audible, and I'll pop in something and I'm like, I just listen to them. And I'm like, I got this. Because without that, oh, forget it. I'd be, nope. My whole face would be like negative and like, poor me. I don't want that. I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me. You know, I'm like, she's alive. We have so much to be grateful for. So much. I just realized I almost think like, I'm like, people are watching me, and I'm like, I can't give up on them. Can't give up on Taylor. I can't give up on me. And I give up on those people watching, because they are watching all of us. And when I first signed on, I was like, coach? Who am I going to coach? I'm like, I can't coach. I can't even coach myself. And you want to call me a coach? And then it's obviously, Brendan says a leader is always a student first. So we're all students in life, no matter what we do. When we go to school, we go to college, we become whatever, we're always learning first, and then we become that mentor and that leader. So we're all students first in the beginning, and then you just really start plugging in, and then you get the confidence and you're like, yeah, I got this. I'm like, I'll give them a healthy recipe. I'll give them this. I'll give them that. And before I post anything on Facebook, I kind of think now, how is this going to help somebody today? You know, I don't want to put out there, oh, look at my dog just puked all over the floor. Isn't that great? You know, I'm like, how's that going to help anybody? You know, I mean, yeah, it's good to make people laugh too. I don't want to say just be, you gotta be real. You have to be you. You can't be a salesperson. Like, I don't ever like, oh, buy my Shakeology. But why are you drinking your shakes? What has it done for you? I always try to get people like testimonies from people, people that have been on. I'm like, hey, I know it's been a while, maybe a year that you've been on it. Can you like just give me a little testimony why you're on it? And would you mind if I share that? I don't have to use your name, but just let me, you know. And they're like, yeah, no problem. So they'll write me up something and we'll post it. And I go into the back office and I look up like the ingredients in Shakeology, and I'll post why the acai, the wheatgrass, Moroccan root, like all that stuff. So I'm always like educating people like why I do it. I don't recommend Shakeology for a weight loss shake. It's just, that's my opinion. I do it more for the health issues, like the benefits of like diabetes. My brother's a type 1 diabetic, and it's literally changed his life. It was like my thyroid was so much better. And then his type 1 diabetes, now his doctor's drinking it. So it's a lot of the health stuff, MS, fibromyalgia. I mean, the list goes on. And so I just keep asking my team, I'm like, do you mind if I share your story? And it's been great. And that's really what's been keeping me going. It's not me posting my shake going, look at me, I'm drinking it today. The courses that I've taken have taught me, like, educate them why you're drinking your shake. Educate them why you're working out. Don't just post a sweaty selfie. People kind of skim over that and they're like, yeah, whatever. But when you give them a reason why you're doing it, then they start engaging with you, and then they'll start like watching you and following you. But be an educator, be a teacher. And it helps. Like, I'm the person, like, I'll go to Walgreens if I find like mascara on sale, or if I go to Jewel and there's a great coupon, I post about it. Hey guys, get over there, you know, like, so this is on sale, blah, blah, what a great buy. And so I'm always like, I guess when they go to my page, they don't feel like I'm selling them something. They look at me and they're like, oh, I could trust her. And that's really what you want to do with your, with your customers. With your team, I highly recommend, one thing that I've always done from the beginning, I've always hopped on Zooms. Any Zoom that I was probably on Zooms I shouldn't have been on, but if the link was there, I hopped on. I was like a little fly on the wall. And I was hoping nobody would see me or whatever. But if they posted it and it was there, I hopped on. I was like, if I could learn something from somebody who's been doing it years, I want to learn. And so I always crack up about that too. And I don't know if you guys know Vito LaFata. He's under like Trina Gray. And, he interviewed me and he was like, why? Why did you get on? And I'm like, I just wanted to learn. I wanted to learn from you guys. You guys have been doing this for so long. I'm like, I loved what Shakeology did. I'm like, I knew there was a reason to this. I knew there was something more to this. And I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the Zooms. I remember my first challenge group Zoom, there was probably 16 ladies on there, and hearing their story and their journey, it made me cry. And I was like, I'm not alone. This is amazing. But, I think about the friends that I had around me, and they're like, they didn't care about changing their life at all. So I had no inspiration. I had no motivation around me. And life is tough. It's not easy. And I always say it's a beautiful struggle, but it's how you determine it. It's how you look at it and how you approach it. And now I wake up every day and I'm like, I see the sun. Well, we haven't had sun lately, but when it pops into my window, I'm like, what? I look at that and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for another day. We have so many people that die day in and day out, our friends and our family. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, if today was our last day, would you guys truly be satisfied with your life? Have you met your goals? Do you feel confident? Do you look in the mirror and can you guys truly love yourself? Because being a hairstylist for so many years, people would sit in my chair and face the mirror and they were like, oh my God, put the cape on, hurry up and put the cape on. They couldn't stand looking at themselves, the reflection in the mirror. And I was like, that's pretty sad. They're like, I look fat. I look this. I look that. I have and I'm just like, it was all this negative talk. And I was like, that's not a good way to live. I'm like, God, this is horrible. So I've been working on a program called the Radiant Reflection Academy. And I want to teach people how to love themselves again, how to look in the mirror and be confident and just really love yourself. And it doesn't matter if you're a size 18 or a size 0. If you love yourself, who cares? But you truly, internally, you really, really, really have to be like, yep, I overcame so much and I feel great. And I always tell my kids, if something were to happen to me tomorrow, I don't regret it one bit because I have overcome so much. My kids don't really know that I tried to end my life. It was more like 10 years ago and all that. In the depression, I tried swallowing pills. And I was so sick for for a week after I did that. And then it didn't work. And then I kind of went up and down and up and down and up and down. And I refused, I don't know. I just couldn't do this. I hated it. I hated life. I just wanted it to be over. And I was in my 30s. My early 30s, and I was doing that. And once I overcame depression and I started standing up for myself, and I'm like, no more, I'm done. I can't do this. I would rather live on the streets with my kids in a box than go through what I was going through. And it was the hardest thing to go through. To be honest with you, my divorce was worse than Taylor's accident. And I think it's because of my mindset. It was all personal development that truly saved. So if you guys are not, diving into personal development every day, at least 10 to 15 minutes a day, you're not going to succeed in this business. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, and you're not going to fall in love with it.
Jenny, you'd be really proud of us since you love Brendan so much, but a group of us are doing in our larger team, a personal development group focused on, currently the book is Life's, Life's Golden Ticket. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Love that book. And it's really bringing out so much. So, you know, it's great. And you told me earlier today how you integrate personal development in your challenge groups. Like it's an actual requirement when people join your groups. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about that? And how does that work for you guys? How do you implement that?
So we switched over to the challenge tracker. You know, ever since they did the challenge, a health bet, I fell in love with that little I love, you know, having to go in and add my shakes and add my workout and stuff. But I tell them, like, listen, these are the requirements. You know, I even sometimes bring in people, even if they don't buy a challenge pack from me, because if they could trust me, it's not all about money, but if they could really like fall in love with you and like really trust you, and they're like, this girl really cares, it's not just about money, she really wants to help me. But I start them off with something easy, and I do Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect. The book is super cheap. So, you know, again, people have to invest in their life if they want to change. You know, at first I was thinking I was going to buy them the book. If they bought a challenge pack, I would buy them the book. And my friend was like, she's like, no, stop spending your money. You know, you're making commission on that, but then you're buying the book. And like, she goes, no. And so I just said, well, there's Audible, the audio version, the CDs, or the book. And the book's anywhere from like $3 to $7 on Amazon. And we would just do, I said, you guys, before you do your workout, I need you to do a chapter. I need you to read a chapter a day. And then I make them go in and then comment on it and like what they thought about it. And then once a week, I would drop in a YouTube video from Brendan, something that they would be struggling on, whether it be self-confidence, frustrating people, negative talk, and anything that I would watch that challenge group and watch what they're saying. Then I would go in and find one of those YouTubes and I would post it in there, and I would ask them to comment on that. So I believe that it all starts with up here. And if you don't have your mindset right and personal development going, your workouts and your food and your eating is just going to go downhill, and you are not going to stay on this journey for a long time. You'll go up, you'll go down, you'll go up, you'll go down. But if you start this, you won't ever give up. But it's the people like that start failing, and I'm going, how's your personal development going? They're like, oh, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, bingo. I go, you know what? I don't care if you work out right now. I don't care. I mean, I know it's important, but you need to get your mindset right first. And then you start working in those workouts, whether 10 minutes a day. Don't tell me that you don't have time, because trust me, I don't have time, but I make the time. My charger's not working. And I just make it happen. So yeah, I am the queen of don't give me excuses, because I'll throw it right back at you and be like, really? Why don't you come here for a week and let's switch? I'll go live your life. You could do mine. And then you tell me that you don't have time. And, you know, I found that like tracking, making like a planner per day, like just schedule out your day. That helps a lot too, because, you know, you wake up and sometimes like the day goes by and you're like, oh my God, I did absolutely nothing today. I thought I was like laundry, this, that, you were all over the place, but like you just had no organization whatsoever. I want to also share something with you guys. I'm doing I'm in a book club with the challenge tracker with a huge team. And this book, it's the Wow book by Todd Durkin. I highly recommend this book. I am not a reader. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't have time to sit down and read a book. That's why I do a lot of audio. But I'm like, you know, they're all doing it and I just want the accountability, so why not? Well, the very first chapter, this guy, the way he wrote this book, it is like one 1 to 2, maybe to 3 pages per chapter, and he spaces out the paragraphs so easily. I was like, oh my God, this is such an easy read. Like you readers are going to be like, oh, that's like nothing. You guys will fly through this book probably in like 2 days. But what we're doing is 1 chapter per day. And he started it off with like sharing about like his dad, and it was like incredible. Like I was crying, and I was like, oh, he got me. So if you guys, it's called 52 Ways to Motivate Your Mind, Inspire Your Soul, and Create Your Wow in Your Life. So Todd Durkin and the Wow book. So check that out on Amazon. But we're on chapter like 15. We have way more to go, but you're done with a chapter in 5 minutes. So that's another way to get, and also for your challenges and your the people you're coaching, he gives at the end of each chapter, he actually gives an action step. So you're like, oh my God, like identify your best practices, then write them down. These are things that you could start engaging with your team and ask them questions in there. It's all right there. There's like no reason why you can't have a killer challenge group going. But I think when you guys start really getting into your why and really dig deep inside to people and really find their struggle, and even sometimes if they cry like I do, I mean, you're definitely going to have that connection with people, and it's going to make a huge difference in their life and in your life. But, even though the holidays are coming, think about like where you guys are now. And do you really want to gain those 10 extra pounds and have to start back over in January? Because then you're going to be pissed at yourself and you're going to go, why did I let myself go? And you really just have to make it that mindset every day. Like, I don't care. Even if you have like 15 minutes of doing core work on the floor, get something done. And then you guys will like go to bed at night, like feeling so much better. And I also journal at night. I make my challengers jot down 3 things that they're grateful for every single night before they go to bed. I'm like, because then it kind of clears their brain a little bit about it's getting all the stress out of their life. And I'm like, I don't care what happened to you today. There is something that you are grateful for. And I want you just 3 things. Dig in. I don't care if it was for a friend or your children or somebody who opened the door for you. But when you guys I don't do it first thing in the morning because it doesn't make sense for me. But when I go to bed at night and just think about, like so-and-so bought me coffee today or so-and-so or whatever, your brain starts, more positive thinking. And then you go to sleep at night and you kind of like have an eased night's rest instead of all the worries that you had in the day that stressed you out. So I just try to get people going like that. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Everyone knows I love my gratitude journal. So who has questions?
What's your go-to favorite podcast?
Brendan. Brendan Burchard. And I actually, I met him and I'm friends with his mom. Craziness. But his thing, live, love, matter. So every single day you have to live your life to the fullest. Every single day you got to have some kind of love in your life, whether it be for you, for your spouse, for your kids. And then the last thing is matter. You have to matter to somebody one per day, like whether you pay it forward, going through I'm a huge pay it forward person. So I'll buy somebody's coffee and I'll post about it. And I don't post about it to get like, oh, look at her. I post it to kind of pay it forward and say the world would be a better place if we all started doing something nice for people. And I went to his live High Performance Academy 2 years ago, and that literally changed my life. I had his tattoo, like Live, Love, Matter, on my wrist, so that I look at that every single day I wake up and every day I go to bed, and I'm like, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And I make sure that's my checkoff list all the time. I do also like listening to Shakeology podcast that they came out with, because I think it's, have you guys heard of Shay Stanford?
Mhm.
That video that how she explains Shakeology, that is the bomb. The best 45 minutes you guys will spend. I could listen to that over and over again because it's just great information right there. But inside Shakeology, the podcast, but I kind of like go towards people who I can resonate with, like Shalene Johnson, Brendan. I love Sean T. He's like, Autumn is like sometimes just kind of like stern, and I don't know. I just don't kind of like. I don't resonate with her too well. But
I agree.
Definitely, Brendan Burchard is my go-to.
Okay, thank you.
You guys are on Life's Golden Ticket, and I actually told Vito Lafata, I said, I feel like Beachbody was my life's golden ticket. And he was like that, and I was like, because look at the way that I am today with my daughter. I'm able to be that mom that role model that I should be, and be able to be her caregiver. And I know that I'm doing something right, because a lot of messages, I'm like, when I'm having a bad day, I go to Taylor's page or I go to your page, and you guys just really uplift me. And I'm like, that keeps me motivated. Like, I know that I'm doing the best I can.
Jenny, I know you have a call coming up very soon, and then Jenny Moore has a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so much of what you said tonight has resonated. I can't even tell you has resonated with me. Your positivity, your mindset, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's contagious. It's just, you have a gift.
Thank you.
You absolutely have a gift. But so much I want to say to you, but I don't have enough time. So I'm going to go follow you on your page. I will tell you that.
I mean, we could set up a call. I have, when there's writing and stuff, I'll give you my phone number. We'll set up a call.
You really, you have a gift. But I want to ask you really quick, because you said, you basically have your Shakeology, much like Stanford is, Shakeology was her ticket, or however you want to say it. Like, that's what she promoted. And then she's like, oh yeah, we have workout programs, but she did that on Shakeology. And that video, it is fantastic. That video is incredible, that you were talking about, that she said. But so I have I have a story with Shakeology. It has 100% changed my life. I had chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia for 20 years, and I started drinking that, and I have never felt better than I have in my entire life. But what I struggle with is sharing that, because it's not like, what's the word for it? Like, Beachbody hasn't, I have to be careful how I share it, right? Because I can't say, you don't.
Nope. That is your personal testimony. You could totally share. That is huge. Do you know how many people like you can resonate with that?
Well, I do, but I struggle with, like, I know I have to kind of breadcrumb it, or I can't say Shakeology cured me. Like, I'm not supposed to say that, really.
Right.
But truth. Struggled for 20 years, almost my whole life. And so it has, but I struggle with sharing that portion of it. So
we can, I mean, if you create a post, kind of just like type out, like, get out how you feel, really internally how you feel, and send it to me. I'll look it over. I'm sure it'll be brilliant, because you're speaking from your heart. You're
Yeah.
speaking from what you went through, and that's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear like, oh, like, well, again, Shakeology has goji berry. Great, but why? What has it done for you? I mean, I just educate people on that just because of the stuff that's in there, and I want people to realize this is not a weight loss shake.
Yes.
And this is not a protein shake. This is a nutrition shake that's filled with stuff, the nutrients that we need in our body to feel good. And, you know, my thyroid stuff and all that. And I was exhausted. Constant. Oh, one thing I did not share with you guys. October of 2013, 6 months before I started with Shakeology, I went to the doctor and I asked him, you gotta have something for me. You have to have an answer for me. Seriously, like I cannot function. He goes, well, you're a single mom with 4 kids and you own your own business, so no wonder you're exhausted. I'm like, really? That's your answer? I said, what can I do? I've tried vitamin D. I've tried B12. I've tried this. I've tried eating healthy. I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. I can't do this anymore. He goes, well, I could prescribe you ADD medicine. I was like, what? I was like, what is, like Ritalin, I guess. And I'm like, I may be a little ADD, but what is that going to do for me? And he said, well, it's going to give you energy. And I'm like, well, I'm a hairstylist. Is it going to make me like jittery and shake? Can I like cut straight and all that? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to give you an option. And I go, you know, I'll get back to you on that one. Let me think about that. And I was like, I walked out of there shaking my head. I was like, literally, you wanted to prescribe me a drug for energy. And again, I didn't do it, obviously, but 6 months later, Shakeology came in and bam, that was the answer I needed.
Yep. I agree.
So really share inside. Don't, you know, if you feel that it's salesy, like when you're creating a post and you feel like you're a little salesy, don't post it.
No, I don't. I feel like I've definitely, I mean, I've shared, I've pretty much ripped open my heart and I'm sharing it all. I mean, it's Beachbody for me, like you said, it's been my golden ticket. It's completely changed my life mentally, physically, even more so mentally, I think, than physically, to be honest. And I've absolutely been sharing that. I think I'm having a really hard time, I think, because there's so much out there. There's so many products out there. There's a lot. And I'm having a really hard time, I think, getting people to trust or believe in it. Although I have to say this month, like, stuff has been happening this month for me. I don't know if people just finally they've watched me long enough. Things are starting to finally happen, which is amazing and fantastic, and I'm thrilled. I'm just hoping, I guess I need to figure out a balance of sharing on my personal page and sharing on my business page, because getting people to go over to the business page is kind of like pulling teeth. Like nobody wants to go over there.
I don't use my business page right now. I use how many friends you got to go by, like how many friends and how many likes do you have?
Yeah.
For people on your personal page, use your personal page, use Instagram, whatever it is. But I do Instagram, I do Facebook. But to be honest with you, Facebook is my go-to.
So you do all your stuff on your personal page. You're not on a business page.
I have a business page. It hasn't gotten me anything at all. So I am all over my page.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that because everything goes on there, but and nobody is seeing it, or nobody wants to see it. I don't know, but it doesn't get the traction.
I mean, if you want to boost a post, well, then obviously you're going to have to go to your business page, but I don't really have to do that. And do you guys live stream? I hope you guys are live streaming.
Yes.
Huge. Facebook will send you more viewers if you guys are live streaming. Only 6% of people see your Facebook, so don't ever feel like I'm posting too much. No, you're not posting too much because they're not allowing people to view you. But if you start live streaming your videos, I actually know people who work with Facebook. So they're like, if you start live streaming, Facebook's going to start giving you more and more viewers. So get comfortable with videos. Shoot a couple on your own, you know, like just kind of like shoot a video without going live and see how you get comfortable. But when your first live stream, just say, my God, I am so nervous. This is my first one, blah, 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 you know, and just start getting comfortable with it. And people want to hear your voice. They really don't want to see like a typed out post.
Right. Okay.
That
Okay.
will help a lot.
Okay. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Well, with the health bet coming up, I mean, like all this stuff, I'm really trying to gear up for that. You know, between now and mid-December, I feel like I have to lay a lot of groundwork. I have a lot of groundwork to lay. But I'm going to do that tomorrow, and I'm going to do it for my personal page again and just see what happens. I will say though, when I go live and I start talking about something like that, did you know now that, sorry, my phone, but did you know now that people can block themselves? So like they can watch you live, but you can't see who they are.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have people that watch me and I cannot see who they are because they block themselves.
Oh, I didn't know.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't get many viewers, but the ones who watch me are blocking themselves. It was good. But
just remember, even though people are not commenting and liking your stuff, you are being watched.
I am being watched, yeah. Okay.
I have people that have come out 2 years later and said, I am ready. They have never commented, posted anything on my stuff, and they finally come out and go, I'm like, it's 2.5 years later, people. I'm like, real, and I'm like, awesome, sweet, let's go, let's do this. I think, you know, people just think that, especially when you're new, they're like, oh, it's a fad. Oh, they'll hop off. But when they see you, and you guys, biggest thing ever, consistency. I have not taken my foot off the gas pedal since April of 2014. And it's, you have, no matter what, you gotta share your workouts. You gotta share your food. You got, and share why are you doing it?
Yep. Okay. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to friend request you.
Oh, no, go ahead. Definitely. Please. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Your story is
anytime you have questions, or you have a question or something, just reach out. I'm here. I mean, I love this business. I love everybody that I've connected with. It's just been and for me, like July, so Taylor's accident was June 8th, and July, I think 29th, I got up on stage, and I was like, I remember my first Super Saturday, I'm like, I want to be up on stage. Well, it wasn't the right way to be up on stage, but I got up on stage. It's like, my God, I was so nervous, but I had to share with everybody why I didn't give up and why I haven't stopped.
You definitely, yeah, you are a huge inspiration.
Which is why I'm so glad.
Anybody who's you, but for all of us too who are.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going
to your daughter, because if she has even half of your will and determination, she is going to.
Seriously, you guys need inspiration. Go to her page, Taylor Strong, and look at her videos and look at what we've done with her and her pictures being on the horse and stuff like that. And you won't ever you won't feel sorry. You won't have a bad day. You'll be like, oh my God, I have no reason to complain.
Most of us don't.
She's such a great girl, and I am so blessed to have my 4 kids. I mean, it's not easy at all. No life is perfect. No life is easy, and my household is crazy as heck. But I am blessed with my kids for sure.
It's your mind. It's a mindset, and yeah, you're great. Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I want to make sure Jenny gets to her call on time. So Jenny, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to message you later, but I just want to thank you for everything. You have such a huge heart, great inspiration. And that's why I want to make sure more people heard you. So I'll be sharing the recording on the various team walls. But thank you so much. And, our love to Taylor. Okay.
Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. And like I said, reach out if you guys ever have any questions or need some little motivation or inspiration. Taylor and I are here for you guys.
And I don't know if you can see on your phone, but Brenda just texted, thank you so much, Jenny. So
Thank
I know
you.
you're on your phone, so it's hard to see everything.
Thank you guys.
Everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night. I hope it helped.
It did. Thank you
Definitely.
so much.
Good.
Thanks.
All right. See you later.
All right.